My name is Benjamin Cruz, and I'm 400 pounds. If I could be anywhere right now, I think I'd be at a lake, watching the water, enjoying the sun, going swimming, but all I do is eat. The lockdown has enabled, me and my food addiction to just go crazy, and I've just been eating all day. Like, not having to go out, not having to do anything. Only shopping I can do is food shopping. That's my only reason to go out anymore. I just eat 24/7. Not something I'm proud of. It's definitely been a wake-up call for me recently, hitting 400 pounds. I didn't think it would get to this, honestly, but now that I think about it, in retrospect, I'm not surprised. But I think it's time for me to, just come open and be candid about my food addiction and, try and make a change for myself. But honestly, like my whole life, I can just remember like being obsessed with food, just like always thinking about it, doing anything to get food, really. As a kid, I would sneak food. I would go into the kitchen, eat leftovers, or eat whatever I could. I remember we're having a garage sale when I was like 6, and we had donuts at the garage sale, and I remember I took a whole entire box. I stole it and I brought it in my room and I put it in my closet, and I ate half of it and saved the other half for after. When I was staying at my grandma's house, I would go and, just eat everything that she had laying out because, I just would never get enough, and she fed me a lot. But times like that weren't rare. I would steal food from the school snack bar, people's lunches from their backpacks as a kid. I would even eat dog food sometimes. But I didn't see anything wrong with it, when I was like that age. I was just hungry, I was never really picked on for my weight. No, I really wasn't. I think my personality kind of made people overlook my weight. But by the time I was around 10 years old, I weighed more than my dad. That was embarrassing. And every time I would go to the doctor, they would weigh me and be like, "You're obese." And it wasn't a good feeling, but that didn't stop me. Sometimes I think, how did I get here? Like, why as a kid, did I have this compulsion to eat? Was I really hungry? I don't know, I felt like it. I think it was more for comfort, food was comfort, food was safety, food was happiness. And I always had food. That was, like the one consistent thing in my life. So I would just look forward to food, And once I started high school, I developed anxiety, and I was too afraid to eat in the cafeteria. So I would not eat at school all day. I would get out of class around 5, 6 p.m. Then I would go home and I would just cook. That's when I started cooking for myself, and I would make feasts. I would make, a whole family size thing of orange chicken, deep frying it all myself, a whole pot of rice. I would eat that all myself. And I would eat it all and clean it up and put it away before my mom got home. So no one really stopped me. I got a little bit better, in high school once I became more social. At the same time, being social, I started to, experiment with drugs, and I started smoking marijuana, and that made it a lot easier to eat more. So I would eat more when I was high on these drugs. I would eat a lot more, and I wouldn't really keep track of it. I really wouldn't know how much I'd eaten. I would just go like that. I would, smoke weed every night before bed, and then binge, and then go to bed. And that was my cycle for years. But things really took a turn for the worse once I moved out and lived on my own. I grew up in a small town, so we didn't really have access to, much fast food or delivery or anything like that. But, once I lived away from home, I could order food, straight to my door. I would order every night. I would order enough for a whole party. I remember, walking through just trying to hide the food from my roommates. Didn't want them to see the 3 pizzas and fries and mac and cheese I was carrying to my room to devour like an animal. It was my secret, it was my like secret best friend. It just gave me, gave me such a rush. And I ended up spending $10,000 in 7 months. on food delivery. That was $10,000 scholarship money that I spent on food. And that wasn't enough to, make me realize, like, not only is it taking control of my life, but it's, hurting my, future. Spending this money, I should be spending for supplies and tuition, and I was spending it on food. I just kept going with the food delivery. I would order every night, and in my apartment, I had a stack of pizza boxes that went to the ceiling. When anyone would come over, I would cover it with a bed sheet and hide it. And I always ate large portions, I always ate way too much, but I started watching mukbangers, and that was not a good idea. Someone with a food addiction, watching people eat 5 times as much food as they need and make it look so good and present it so well, that was just not good for me. They show the glamour of it, I guess. It's not a glamorous thing, but it's so pleasurable that watching someone else, go through it this is enjoyable. And so I would, try and curb my appetite by watching these other people gorge themselves on food. That worked for a little bit, but then as we were there eating, and then afterwards I'd just be so hungry that I would have to eat what they're eating. And this became a real problem when I started watching Nikocado Avocado. His videos definitely affected my health. It became an obsession of sorts. I started eating spicy noodles that he would eat, and actually developed stomach ulcer and hemorrhoids. Very painful. I got that sorted out and I stopped eating the spicy noodles, but I would still eat just as much as him. As he gained weight, I gained weight. I've surpassed him. I'm 400 pounds, and it's not fun. I get tired walking. I can't fit through my bathroom door. I can't fit on my toilet right. I can barely fit in my shower. I've outgrown all my clothes. I'm done, living like this. I'm done being obese. It's not what I want for myself. I want to, be healthy and like the way I look, and not have to think about my body constantly and be on the hunt for food and just thinking, when am I going to have my next meal? When am I going to be able to binge? If I don't get a hold on it soon, I don't think I'm going to live as long as I should, because I'm only 21 and I weigh 400 pounds. It's 200 pounds for every decade. By the time I'm 30, I'll be 600 pounds on my 600-pound life. And I don't want that. I'm really not ready for that. I thought I would just, share this as a kind of reminder to myself. I made a commitment to better myself and, conquer my addiction. I would hold myself accountable and share my journey with other people. I don't want my channel to just be about, my weight loss journey and food and mukbangs. This is something, obviously, is a very central part of my life, so I will be talking about it, but I just want to, share my life and try and give myself some structure, because I think that's something I lack, and be productive and put something out there, something, maybe small. I'm not some exciting YouTuber. I don't really have a loud voice or personality, but I'm me. I'm Ben. I weigh 400 pounds. So what? But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know if there's anything that you'd want me to see me talk about, or if you'd like me to share more about myself or my journey. But I want this to be a fresh start. Thanks.